Welcome, everybody. So last week we talked about how to craft a Botox offer. Today we're talking about body sculpting. Those are the two most popular services that everybody voted on. We had a poll. If you scroll down in the Facebook group, we had a poll. We get a lot of questions with how to craft an offer that's competitive, yet still profitable and growing your business. It's a fine line. We help clients do that on the very, very often. So today we're actually going to go through a market. So we're going to go through and actually create a body sculpting, body contouring offer, kind of walk through the process.
I'm not going to beat a dead horse, so to speak. So I'm not going to spend a bunch of time going back over all of the points that we spent a lot of time going over last week. But the main concept is, again, you want to get as many people in the door in person with you as possible. So the reason why to have an offer is you want to get people an opportunity to try you. If somebody's already done a service with somebody, mentally, you just want to give them to say, I've been meaning to do this, but now I'm this person, has a discount or whatever. It seems like a good time to try it. And then again, just having the mindset of if you don't want to have an offer, and you're fine doing 10, 20 max a month clients or patients, then, good for you. This video is probably not for you, and you can stop watching and, go do something else. But if you want to get to the 30 to 50 a month, having an offer, having clear call to action, having good graphic, follow up with people are all things that are important for that. So you're lowering the risk of somebody spending their money. That's why offers are important. You're lowering what they're risking mentally, right? It's everybody's nervous about either not working, them not enjoying it, or it not going right. That's why people, you test drive a car, which you can't test drive Botox before you put it in. You can't test drive having lipocavitation. Nobody's going to do that for free, because then you're using your products and stuff like that. That's why it's important to have a good offer, is you want somebody to see it as an opportunity to try you. But the main thing here is you want to research. So if you, for example, if you are in Miami and you want to offer 20 units of Botox for $240, it's not going to be an offer at all, really, because there's so many people that are doing $7 to $10 per unit. If you do $12 a unit as an offer, you're going to potentially see 25% of what you could be having people come in for. So over time, you can raise your prices once you have a consistent base of clients. But if you want to go from 5 or 10 to 30 or 40 or 50, you want to give people the opportunity to come in. That's the concept of why it's important to have an offer, because sometimes we talk to people and they're well, I want to do this. I want to do 6 sessions for what I charge of $350. So I want to charge $3,000, whatever. That's what we can do. We can only offer $50 off or a 3% discount, whatever. That's fine. If you want to do that, we will not take on a client and do that. We won't do it, because we know it doesn't work. It doesn't work nearly as well as having a solid offer. If you want to upsell them when they come in, absolutely. That's what we recommend. But you have to get people in the door to give yourself a shot. You have to give yourself at-bats. If you don't, and you try to convince somebody why they should spend $5,000 or $3,000 or whatever, without even having coming in to see you, to see the equipment, to get a good idea, get a good feel of who you are, because they have to trust you in order for them to give you that money. If you're trying to sell somebody online who's never worked with you, never worked with anybody that's worked with you on a $3,000 package, and they don't even know you, it's not going to work nearly as well as an introductory offer that's not that much money, that's not a big risk for them, to get them in to come for that. We have clients that have an $87 offer, 1 session offer, and on average she collects $1,000 from people coming in. But we have also run ads before that were for a $3,000 package up front and got 1 person in, and they still made a return on investment, but $10,000 versus $3,000. And you would think up front, oh, well, we have this small offer up front, we're not going to make that much money. 10 appointments with an $87 offer is not that much money. But if you're actually collecting $1,000 per person, that's more money than the one for $3,000.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people in this industry specific relate to an offer or a special to Groupon, people just price shopping, which is a negative connotation in this, but we know it works. The reason why ours works different with Groupon is we have a lot of follow-up. There is a ton of follow-up. There's a ton of automation. Even if somebody's not ready to purchase, we're putting them in a follow-up bucket where we're constantly texting, emailing, hey, this is what's going on. Here's benefit of body contouring. Here is a new machine. Here is a new attachment. There's a lot that you can do from a marketing perspective that will really separate yourself. And it's really all about the follow-up, because they don't convert now, which the majority of people don't. There needs to be a follow-up in place to make sure that you're still top of mind whenever they are ready to lose weight and look good for summer, which now is the perfect time to do that.
So those are kind of the concepts about like why offers are important, like what they mean, how the viewpoints and mindset around them. And again, we're not talking about like, this is for the people who really want to grow their business, like significantly go from collecting $4,000 to $10,000 a month to collecting $50,000, $60,000 a month. That's who this is for. If you're comfortable just doing this as a side job, doing $5,000, $6,000 a month, then do whatever you want. You don't have to listen to us. But if you do want to grow, my recommendation to listen to this. But so I think we're doing Lindale, Texas, right? So, okay. So it's between Shreveport and Dallas. And I'm going to guess that the population density is going to be pretty low. I wonder how many medical spas there are in Lindale. So also, part of the reason to do offers is to get people in, right? So if you're looking at the reviews, one place has 9 reviews, 8 of them are 5 stars, and one place has 4 reviews, and 3 of them are 4 stars, or 3 of them are 5 stars. Like, you got to get more people in. You got to have offers on the table, get more people in, get more reviews, because this is another reason why to have good offers, because give yourself more opportunities to get reviews. Because if I'm searching right now, I'm going to go for the people that have more reviews, better reviews. So I'm going to go look at their page though, see what type of options that they have. Again, I don't know if I need to disclaim this, but I'm not affiliated with we're not affiliated with any of these people. We're strictly doing this as educational to show like how we would research how to have a good offer and how to price yourself in an area. So they do PDO threads, skin pen, PRP, all that stuff. Oh, and the other thing that we're doing differently this week is last week I didn't even go on Facebook. So this week I'm going to go on Facebook. So now we know their name. So there's Simply Bliss Aesthetics. So there's something called Ads Library where you can actually go in and see what ads people are running, if they're running ads. And I do this a lot because when we run ads, we want to make sure that we don't fall flat on the market. They're not running any Facebook ads, which is good because that means that there is an opportunity in this area for Facebook ads. But so their base pricing is pretty normal, $12 a unit for Botox. So this is not there's no body contouring here from what I can say. This is all aesthetics, injections, stuff like that. So on the bright side, because we're looking at Evolve, like a body contouring service, they don't even do body contouring. They do aesthetics. So I want to go check Groupon now. Okay, so you all can do a little bit more, but there's no pricing. I'm pretty sure this is about a $3,000 package, right? Like $1,000 a session. So for example, just a side note here, I know that some services that are priced about around $1,000 a session and everything like that. If there are other body contouring services, my or our recommendation is to have a good introductory offer. Trying to find a good offer for a $3,000 package is like, we have clients that we run ads for that it's like $1,000 a session service, and we discount it to like $300 a session or $250 a session to get people to try it. And then on average, they're collecting about $2,000 a person. You would think that like, oh, wow, you like discounted 80% discount up front. Like, we're not going to make any money on it. Like, we got this machine, because a lot of the people that come in and sell machines, they're saying like, buy this machine because you can sell $1,000 a session services, which sounds great in concept, but the matter of the fact is you still have to market it and get people in the door. And in order to convince somebody why they should pay $1,000 for an hour of doing whatever, your chances of actually converting are going to be so much better if they're in person. I'm not going to use real numbers, but let's say that we told somebody we charge $10,000 for marketing, right? That's what we do. That's all we said. We just like, if you want to grow your business, pay us $10,000 and we'll grow your business, right? It's completely different than if we actually like walk through, go over their market, go over their goals, go over their procedures, put some numbers together, see like, for example, if we guarantee 20 appointments, what that means, and then be able to say like, okay, well, this is everything that we do. If you want to do this, if you can do this price and this package at this price point, we literally will not work with somebody unless we come to an agreement on an offer ahead of time, because we know from our experience that we want to help people grow. And if somebody comes to us and says, we're going to charge this exactly, we just won't do it, because we want to do a good job. And we know that if you try to go into the market and you have any type of competition and they're running specials and you want to bring in new patients, but they are actually running a good special and it's significantly better than yours, then going to beat you.
Yeah, the only caveat to that is if it comes from like a referral or a word of mouth or some type of not internet marketing. Like clearly, like your friend Sally was like, hey, look, you need to go here. They're expensive, but you will get results. Like that's another kind of caveat, because what we're doing is completely different. Most of the clients that we're generating for our clients are people that have never been to a med spa. So you get to craft the entire experience and then create a lifelong client if you can. They're great customers, but you also have to understand those customers and what their kind of buying points are. If you strictly have a price tag up, they're going to get sticker shock. They're going to go to the next deal, versus building that relationship and having the opportunity to build trust and that rapport, answer their questions, make sure it is a good fit before you give them a price tag. So it's all about on the front end. I actually put a video out about this last week where, what's the cost? That's the first thing that people ask. But it's like, hang on, like, I don't even know what you need yet. I can't quote you on something. Like, you don't go to the doctor's office and be like, how do you fix it? The doctor's gonna be like, I don't know what's wrong. Like, I can't give you a price if I don't know what's wrong with you. So there's a lot of discovery and asking the questions, which is why we'll recommend like a free consultation or a treatment up front. Maybe it's a phone consultation, maybe it's in-person consultation, but getting that rapport and going there before you jump to like, okay, what's the cost? Because that's tough.
Especially if you have other treatments and you have other lower end treatments, like they came in for the $3,000 package of like three sessions, let's say, and then they find out that you had other treatments that were $200 for 3 sessions and you didn't inform them about that, they're not gonna, and you didn't ask questions and whatever. So that's why I recommend starting with that and then saying, and this is from our experience, like we do this, right? Like unless you work with 100 medical spas, you have 100 locations and you're like a coach in the space, you're probably not going to have as much data as we do as far as like what works and what sells. And I can say 100% getting people in, low end offer, getting people in, I think anything less than $1,000 is the best way to get people in. If you start having like an introductory new patient special or whatever that's over $1,000, it's going to get like significantly harder unless you have a really wealthy market and no competition. But if they come in for $100 service or whatever, and you're like, well, this will do this. If you ask them a lot of questions and you say, if you really want to like, this will do X, but if you want 5X, if you want 10X, whatever results, if you want to do this, if you want to look like this, blah, blah, if you really want what you're telling me that you want, I'm going to recommend that you do this other special. It's definitely more expensive, but I want to make sure that you spend your money in the right place. And like, I think that even though it's more money, your money's going to be more valued. Like you're going to get more value for your money if you do this. That's a much different way than saying like before somebody even walks in the door and just saying that you should do this $3,000 package and there's no special. If it's a referral, we get this all the time. Like, well, I get new people coming in. They're going to be referrals. Like they're going to be. And if you want to run Facebook ads and you want to spend money on Facebook ads or Google ads, much better off starting with something that's lower end because it doesn't feel like so much of a risk. So even in this case, like I'm not sure what other things there are, but I would focus on another service. Like for example, so we run ads for weight loss, injectables, fillers, IV infusions. From my thinking, I would find something else that we do and a price point that we know people are going to feel comfortable with, and getting them in for that, and then educating about other services to side sell or upsell to. So in this case, I don't know if you all have like a lipocapitation or like a lipo light or something like that, but that's what I would recommend. I'm just gonna do a random city then. So I'm gonna do like, maybe I'll do like weight loss Houston. Yeah, up to 50% off. Cool Sculpting has a name, so it's a little bit easier to advertise things like Cool Sculpting, even though it's a little bit pricey. Just saying like $300 a session versus $100 a session, but it has a name to it, so people will see this and be like, oh, 50% off, and
like
they'll
Botox,
probably click on it.
Like a brand name.
Yeah, I mean, Cool Sculpting is a for sure. But you can see like all of these aesthetic places, spas. I want to see what they have. $10 per unit. So this is a pretty good. This is, a little bit too much for me, but I guess you could go see like up to 50% off Cool Sculpting. I'm gonna guess that means like if you get like 10 sessions, you get 50% off or something like that. Like instead of paying $3,000, you pay $1,500. I'm not sure exactly, but
yeah, probably about right.
So this one's Air Sculpt, much better results than lipo. It's a pretty clean page, I would say. Only thing for them is that there's no pricing that I can see. The main thing here is I don't see any pricing. There's no offer here. So I'm going to move to Groupon. Maybe I'll be more specific. So they're clearly bidding on certain things. $100 first session. Okay. Like, do they have any other specials? I know what this is built with. It also depends, right? Like if you're just doing cavitation versus if you're doing like a 5-in-1 with like, RF, cavitation, wood therapy, stuff like that. So 2 sessions, 4 sessions. This makes a little bit more sense to me.
Yeah.
So 3 for $255. I would say that's not bad. Like from our experience, 3 to 4 sessions of most cavitation or body sculpting treatments. So anywhere from 3, if I was doing cavitation in Houston, I would probably do anywhere from 3 sessions for $250 to $350. I think we see that in here, or 4 sessions from anywhere from $300 to $400. And if you wanted to do an introductory session, you could probably do it for like $97, $87. Ultimately, this is kind of how you buy out on your competition in the area and figure like, if you're not in range, like for example, if you have competition that's running Facebook ads, let's say somebody's working with somebody who knows what they're doing and they have an offer that they know works really well, and you're guessing and you're thinking, well, in my mind, like for example, if you're like buy 1 filler, get 10 free units of Botox, right? Or something like that. And you think that, oh wow, like, it's $100, it's $120, $130 of value versus just doing $100 off your first filler. You might think that works, for people like us that do this all the time. And if you're working with somebody who knows what's going on, if they have the knowledge of an offer that works 70% better than another offer, and you're just kind of deciding what you think is going to work instead of doing the research and looking at what other people are charging, looking at what their offers are, you could potentially be missing like hundreds of new clients because you just didn't do the research, or you didn't hire somebody that knows what they're doing and has like a bad offer on the table, or hired somebody that was okay with not having an offer at all. So that's pretty much it for me. I don't see any other comments here about locations. The main thing is, I think everybody in here should know, like, know your competition, know what works in your area. Do not just make an offer just because you think it sounds cool. Like, do research on what offers are working in your area. Like if you see something pop up a bunch, probably a good indication that it works. And from our perspective, we literally know it works. I don't know, we're maybe 15 different states. We have as good of an understanding of the demographics and the treatments. Like most of even the people we work with, we're doing 2 or 3 or 4 campaigns. So we're not, even in the cities that we're in, we're not even just testing out one offer, we're testing out 3 or 4. So we have a good idea of what works. And this is part of what we do, is like go in and say like, okay, let's research, let's go, who's your competitors? If you know your competitors, just go to Facebook ads library and go research them. Like go look at their ads, like you see here's literal Botox, but then you can see like, okay, this person, which this could be useful or not useful because we don't know what area they're in. So 20 units of 179, I think that's a good offer. It's probably a good offer, I would say. Yeah, so we see them all over right here. PDO thread lift, I think it's a good offer. I think they're positioning themselves well.
Outside looking in, I mean, you got either A, they have a ton of money.
My guess, they're doing anywhere between $7,000 to $14,000 a month in advertising based off of the amount of ad sets that we just saw. But it's also important, if like, for example, if this person was your competitor, you'd want to know. Like you want to know, okay, shoot, like they're spending a lot of money on this offer here. We can't come with something weak like 20 units for $219, right? If you know that this person's putting a ton of money into marketing and this is what they're pricing themselves as, you're not even.
They're just going to dominate.
You're gonna have to beat them with your creative. Like you're gonna have to find other ways to beat them. So you're gonna have to, but you would still have to be in the range, right? Like you'd still, even if it's like 20 units for 189 or 199, like at least you're, punchers, you're still in range and seen as an offer. But this is the type of stuff I would do, is like go the ads of your competitors, because if they're putting Facebook ads on it, the likelihood is, I mean, we can tell immediately when it's a professional doing an ad. Those are professional ads. Somebody that's not a professional, if I see them running something, I'm going to almost make the decision to not do it. It's like, no offense to anybody that runs their own ads, but I see a lot of really bad ads when I look up. If somebody gave me a lipocavitation machine and I tried to do something with it and help somebody, first of all, I would have to be licensed, but regardless, I would do a terrible job because I would have no idea what to do, because I don't think about it ever.
Yeah, hopefully everybody got some value here. It's really important I don't want to kind of drone on, but this is something that is, you're either going to win with it or your competitors are going to do it. So hopefully you guys got value here. So creating offers is massively important because it's a way for you to get new people. There's only a certain amount of people in your demographic, in your geography, and if your competitors take them all up, then you'll have to rely on people moving into town and getting those new people. So we will go ahead and jump off. We do work in a lot of states. Thank you once again for watching. Unfortunately, Alex's laptop died, but thanks Susan, Megan, for dropping your location down here. If you guys like this and provided value, let us know. This is something that we love doing, giving back to the community and educating people how to really market and crush it. So once again, thanks so much for tuning in. Take care.